If I can describe here on the 5A and 5B podcast. Hello, I'm Mokan, by the way. Okay, Simon, you're next.
That was really awkward. It's tough to beat. I'm Simon. I've been here for a long time.
My name is Peeze, and I know enough about science to know that microwaves are not harmful.
I'm Chris, and I'm the new guy.
Okay, new guy. We'll call him the new guy.
I'm Eagle. I'm sorry.
All right. The new guy.
This is going to be a long 14 weeks.
No, actually, like 15
Every
weeks.
week is just me apologizing differently.
Yeah. Welcome to
Start learning
Calling
languages.
Audible,
Apologizing.
the 5A and 5B podcast. Eagle in the perch. We have Simone and Peeze to my left, and then the new guy, Chris Reeve, who's taking over for the old guy in GM, Clorathris.
I really need to give him his new assignment. Right now, he's being paid to do nothing.
He's chilling out, man. Like Rob's like, oh, guys, listen. I don't mind paying you guys, but at the end of the day,
It's royalties.
what am I paying you guys for?
It's royalties.
Paying royalties.
Here in a shipping container.
No, actually, it's an interesting project, and I need to get off the ground. And he's gonna be hearing this like I don't know what you're talking about because I literally have only spoken to Rob about it. So
Let's dive into it. 5A and 5B, guys. The 5A games. Let's talk about the game that I think we all witnessed. Buffalo Wild Wings against Nakatomi Survivors,
Yeah.
and the Wild Wings won 22-13. Now, there's two things we can bring up, and it's related to one person, or three things.
Probably more than two things, but yeah.
Well, there's three things. Two
Okay.
are from one person. So, Peasy threw a ball that was an extra point attempt.
no, it was a
No, it was a third down, no?
Oh,
third down.
Yeah, it was a third down.
Third down.
No, my bad.
Oh, wait, what? We might not be talking about the same one.
It's the same one. Baseball.
No, I'm talking about the Nick Below. When he picked it off, brought it back.
Nick
to
Below didn't pick it off.
Yeah, he did.
No.
Yeah, it was Nick
Oh,
Below.
it was that kid with the long hair.
I'm
No,
so
Nick
confused.
Below brought it back to the house.
No, he couldn't.
No, he didn't.
It would take him an hour.
I'm telling you, he brought it back to the house.
No, he didn't.
He didn't, dude. It wasn't him.
It was so Nick Below.
It was the same guy who picked me up.
Can you
last
imagine-
time.
It was not Nick Below.
No, in the extra
It was
point
Guillaume
attempt.
Vizina.
I can probably get
No,
He
you.
was
the extra-
Guillaume Vizina. He was in Man
Yes.
on Mike Adona.
Look, it was Nick Below.
No, it wasn't.
I
Guillaume
believe it was Nick Below also.
Thank you.
I believe
Thank
it was.
you.
I believe
Nick
it was.
Below, yes.
Guys, I was there.
I was there too,
I
warming
was
up
too.
before.
I was there too. I score kept the game.
He ran by me.
Every five of us
No,
is
because I
there.
remember I said, is that Nick Below? I'm like, and
It's like
yeah,
the JFK
Nick Below.
assassination.
So
Nick
Nick
we're all
Below
there.
is a skinny guy with long blonde hair.
Okay, can you
That's
please
not
message
Nick
Nick
Below.
Below, Eagle, and ask him, hey, did you have an impact in the game?
It's not.
No,
Nick
the
Below.
answer's
I
no.
swear to God, it's Nick Below.
No, it's not.
Okay, anyway, Nick Below's haircut was terrible. That's the one.
Yeah, it is
It's
terrible.
awful
Yes,
haircut.
100% terrible.
Okay.
We can all agree there.
Unrelated to the pick, though.
But number two, what the hell is GM Clorathris doing trying to cast the ball, leaning over like a teapot and going off his face and off his hands and out of bounds?
Like a teapot.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Short and stout.
GM had a rough night. It's okay though.
It
thing
happens.
is, John Luristis is supposed to be quarterback of this team. He has plantar fasciitis. This team was not built for me. It was built for John. And
But you threw 210 yards.
yeah, but I always throw for 210 yards.
Wow.
I always do that.
Wow.
I always do. It's dumb. It doesn't matter if I score or not.
So
We're gonna move.
what you're saying is
the
the red zone's not your friend.
correct.
Okay.
It's just the thing is it's a lot of guys who don't know my concepts in spacing and vocabulary in the huddle, and I got frustrated and made a bunch of mistakes because of it.
Oh, like that one time you started rolling, had a first down if you ran, but decided to throw
Throw downfield off
to
my back
seven
foot.
guys.
Yeah.
That was great.
So
That was
did Nick Below answer?
I haven't messaged him yet.
What am I looking at, Eagle?
Can
Pretty
you-
sure it's a Marc-Alexandre Piet.
Can you produce us answers?
No.
Ask Nick Below, please.
Even after the game, by the way, they said he picked you off 4 times. He had 3 interceptions.
4 times.
Well, 3 as interceptions and 1 on the convert.
Maybe you should
Stop throwing them right now.
Perhaps.
He honestly is a good defender. He baited me. Well, 1 was a jump ball, but then the rest of them he just
Yeah,
baited me.
that's not really fault.
Surprised by the Longhorns upending the Ravens like they did. Longhorns, I was there for that game. John Mooney had a really clutch effort. Adam Rosen and Chris Rosen, the father-son duo, were really...
Can someone tell me if they're good?
Who?
They're good.
Longhorns.
Longhorns or the Rosens?
No, the Rosens I know they're good.
The Rosens are
Longhorns.
So
I feel like every week we say they're good, and then the next week we say they're done, and then the next week we say they're
They always
good.
have like a 4-week spell of like winter where it's cold and bitter and they just play awful, but then they're like spring and summer, the roses afterwards.
okay, that's one way to put it.
Yes, you-
We have Facebook chat.
What's up?
From T-Bear Yearwood saying Outlaws
Tabari?
winning this week. Yes. He's saying
T-Bear.
Outlaws
Didn't he
winning
play with
this
him?
week.
I know. Did
versus
you play with
Voodoo.
Tabari Yearwood?
Yes, it is.
So you call him T-Bear.
It's his Facebook name.
Oh.
He's saying Outlaws winning this week versus Voodoo.
Okay, thank you very much. Exciting stuff. But anyway, when we look at the Longhorns, though, this is a team that, yes, you're right, Peeze, right? They always had those spurts where they do very well, and we talk about, hey, they're going to go to the title game and they choke in the playoffs here.
Well, listen, it's not. I like Longhorns. They had one very, very strong season where they finished 8-2, I believe. But ever since that season, they've regressed. And I'm not blaming John Moody solely on this. I think it's just the fact that he needs certain things to go his way. He needs that Rob Allen personality on his team, the big, tall receiver that could go for jump balls.
There's no Rob Allen on this team. Dave Allen's on the team, though.
Yeah, but Dave Allen is not the jump ball artist that his brother is, right? So, but John Moody, as much as he could spread the ball and is able to have multiple plays and use a very complicated system that works well for him, he needs that deep, tall threat, which he doesn't have on this team at the moment. He has speed, but he doesn't have the over-the-top guy, which is causing issues for his offense. Ever since he lost Rob Allen, they haven't been that successful.
What other games caught your attention from 5A, boys?
Tough Lungs beat Speakeasy.
Yeah,
That was a weird game, though.
that was yeah. It looked. I was watching the game from the other field because I was scorekeeping field 3. Every time I would turn around, it felt like incompletes. But then the score went up over and over. So I thought the game would have finished 7-6.
It wasn't the most efficient game for Matthew Lerner, to be fair.
Both quarterbacks did not play well.
Yeah, it's the same for Jeff Beauchamp, but Jeff Beauchamp, like, it
Former
makes
Div 1
sense.
player.
Really?
Yeah, played for the Expos.
Not quarterback, however.
No, snapper.
Okay,
Fair.
that makes sense. Honestly, he's got a lot to learn at the quarterback position. Everyone does when they first start playing it, so that makes a lot of sense. But again, man, I don't understand how guys have single-digit completions.
No,
It's difficult. It's hard to have single-digit completions.
well. So Tough Lungs have a good defense. We'll start there. They have a good defense, and if you're a new quarterback, it's tough to play against because if you want to throw it deep, you're most likely gonna get picked off.
Mm-hmm.
But offensively, there's no reading the field. He just goes to the same guy at the same spot over and over again.
Yeah, but I think Tough Lungs, and we'll talk about them later on in this show, but they're really talented on defense, but I just find that Matt Lerner's too much of a dink and dunk. Like, you know, he has one read and then he goes to his safety valve.
But to be honest, I saw a lot from him in fall when he wasn't playing with Justin Lerner, and that he learned. It forced him to have to not just air it out to his brother. But so he seems more methodical. So I actually disagree. I think that's the reason they'll be better.
I don't know. I didn't come away like, wow, like, like, look out.
See, to me, it was the other way around. Is if he would have taken the short completions constantly and would have had that like 75% completions and moved the chains with the underneaths and the 5-yard hooks, but he was forcing deep throws that were simply either not open or.
See, it's weird because I had a game at the same time. So when I looked over, it was the opposite. I saw him throw a bunch of checkdowns, and I was like, "Oh, cool! He's being methodical."
Every time I looked, he was forcing deep throws that were either overthrown or like he connected a few times, but overall, it wasn't like his completion percentage wasn't great, and they would have been more successful with just checking it down more often. So if he could go to like a more dink and dunk offense, and like he did when his brother wasn't there, to just
60% though almost.
But that was all checkdowns, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like Mo and I saw the same game.
Yeah.
Well, apparently.
Well, suppose you saw 2 games at once, so I thought your word would be greater than our word.
I just feel like there was too many incompletions when he threw an incompletion or interception when he had somebody open on a check down that would have made the offense move the chains more easily.
All right, so look.
I think so. Simo's entrenched his position, so instead of learning, he'll just dig deeper into it.
Yeah, like.
But again, the show's not about learning. It's not about learning.
No, it's about digging deeper and deeper into a hole that you can never get out of, and you're stuck there forever.
A grave, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Except that instead of being 6 feet deep, it's like 25 feet deep, and you'll never be found.
That's super deep. I'm not sure you could actually dig 25 feet.
I mean, someone can.
Can you please look it up, please?
With a shovel?
No.
People have definitely done 25 feet. We mine for
with
oil.
a shovel? Like in your backyard?
But nobody said with a
Who
shovel.
would dig 25 feet with a shovel for?
Well, hold on.
You can't.
Hold on. Are we talking about machinery or shovel?
Eagle, can you look up? Eagle, can you look up if you can dig 25 feet with a shovel?
Yes.
Yeah. Without machinery.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Anything else from 5A or 5B from the highlights of this week's games?
5B.
Process, easy W. You got to talk about it.
I was going to.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were going there.
I was literally going there. You go ahead.
Process, easy W. Justin Franco 6 sacks against Jeremy White.
That's a shock. That's
That's
a
a-
surprise.
That's a performance right there. And the process honestly looked like the best team in the division. We thought ECW should have they have a good offense. They should be able to finish as a top seed or in the top 3.
But the process were already last, I think, spring. It was last winter. They were a top tier 5B team. So why would
Yeah.
it be different?
But we assumed ECW would also be a top team this season. Like it wasn't like you agreed to that last week too. You
Yeah.
think ECW should be a strong team, and
Well,
they cut,
I'm not surprised by the result. I'm surprised by the disparity.
if they would have lost 33-31, we wouldn't make like a big deal out of it.
Eagle,
but
have
you
you
only scored
found the
6
answer
points?
yet?
I mean, there's conflicting statements. One guy's saying 50 to 70 feet because technically that's how deep wells are, and people used to dig wells by hand. So
By hand, not
Thank
even
you.
shovels.
In England.
By
No,
hand.
with a shovel. With a shovel.
By hand.
Yeah.
Simo.
But
Bare hands,
what's the
bro.
conflicted part?
Your
That
great
other people are-
grandfather-
Other people don't believe in
grandfather did
wells.
Stop and let him finish.
That with plenty of time, you may be able to get to bedrock before your shovel breaks, but it depends on the depth and composition of the soils. Another guy said if you're digging on sand, you're going to go deeper than if you're digging on rock.
So these are basically. I can't believe we have well deniers
So
in 2019.
that. So
Yeah.
we're
Another
talking
guy
about
saying I
different
live on an old
agricultural
part of a farm, and there's a hand dug
requirements.
well that is 45 feet deep.
Hand
So-
dug with his hands.
bare hands.
Well, no
Your
way.
great grandfather did that, man. Simone, how
Just
impressive
saying.
that.
No, they didn't.
We also, since I have the mic, Facebook chat, Nimrod is saying, I think Tropic Thunder deserves more respect after last week. Hashtag most entertaining team in Div B. Hashtag complete team.
Okay,
We'll
get to week
there's a
14.
sliding scale of entertainment, right? Because, like, some people like awesome movies like Die Hard, and then other people like movies that are not Die Hard. So
So
We'll get to you in week 14. Don't worry.
So, according to the Nimrod scale, they're going to be a very boring game next week because whatever he says doesn't happen.
yeah.
Stephen Harper-Prasad, guys, we know about him and how great he is, and once again he's killing it. I know it's going to pain Peeze because who he's playing with, our frenemy.
Negdana.
Negdana.
Negdana. Is his name still Negdana on the site?
Yes.
Nice.
Did
Oh, no, they switched it back. Oh,
Who switched it?
wasn't me.
wasn't me either.
Why, Rob?
Outrage. Outrage.
No fun, Rob.
But
No,
what
yeah.
happened to him to borrowing his Negdana for Mokan there?
What?
Needed to happen. We said we were going to borrow his Negdana for Mokan there.
That's true.
Oh,
The
yes,
podcast.
yes,
To hold it
yes,
back.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Can you
It's
use
a
it for
mess.
one's head, or is it strictly for
No,
the head?
I think
I think
that neck's so wide that's not going to fit my hair. So look, he's made subpar talent and like Dan look like average talent here, but is he now on his way to the Hall of Fame with his stats that he's put up so far? Because
Kevin
you look at-
Kusei?
No, Stephen Harper.
Relax. Relax on Kevin Kusai.
Stephen Harper, because I know it's going to come up soon, the Hall of Fame discussion. And this is something that's been bothering. This has bugged me all the time because it's always Div 1, Div 2, but we've never seen one from lower divisions go up. But this is a guy that's on track to now perhaps get himself into the Hall of Fame sooner than later.
And he's to me a prototype of what we should start to discuss in terms of eventual Hall of Famers, because I don't think his ability is greater than that of a Div 3 player. His God-given talent, I don't think, is above that. And he's a guy who wants to play with his friends and guys he knows, and
That's no problem.
it's a recreational league. We shouldn't punish that. We should award excellence at all levels.
So he is currently 55, 20, and 2 in his overall
That's a strong
record.
quarterback record.
He has 1 bowl win, 1 championship, and that
So
came
also
with one
using
individual.
wins as a measure of individual ability is dumb.
Yes.
And his
Straight up.
his total regular season quarterback rating is 102.8. That's 178 touchdowns to 49 INTs, which is a really good ratio.
That's pretty good.
And
Fantastic ratio.
playoffs too, he was averaging 111.2 quarterback rating, 68-12. It's good.
So
Matt Radio.
thank you, Simo. You're excel in mathematics. So Chris, you I believe you've gone up against Stephen Harper-Prasad, or have you not gone up against him yet?
I haven't. No, never.
Have you
I've seen him play. I've seen him play.
And your thoughts on that?
I like what he does. I like what he does. He keeps it simple. He takes what the defense gives him, and he takes. I find that a lot of teams tend to go deep a lot. I don't. From what I've seen, I haven't seen him go deep all the time. I think he likes to work the short game first, then take his shots. From what I've seen, correct if I'm wrong. I don't know if. But yeah,
Sounds about right.
and he looks calm too. He looks very. In the games that I've watched him, he always looks calm. He knows where he's going. I think he reads the defense well, and yeah, I think that we should consider him eventually as
You
well.
know, Chris, this is the point where you make fun of players. You criticize players. You don't have to hail them like a hockey player. You're like,
I mean, I'm going with what I see, Mo, and from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything yet to make fun of him. But it will come. It will come.
all right. Well, yeah, this is week 1 for you new guys, so no
Yeah.
problem. All right,
Yeah.
so Simon, they got Voodoo coming up this week. A
Yep.
huge 2-0 game.
Yep.
2 teams in the same division. Loser of this game, would you write them off for first place in that division?
Not just yet, because 2-1. I mean, if you're 2-1, you could still finish 9-1 technically, and the other team doesn't mean they're gonna go undefeated. The way the 5 is structured at the moment, I think it's a very strong division. Like, there's a lot of parity. I wouldn't say that week 3's game is gonna define whoever finishes first place, but these are 2 of the best teams in the division at the moment, and it should give us a very good measuring stick as to what they're able to do. Right, like you're looking at a team like Voodoo. If they're able to win this game convincingly, then that should put them at the top of the power ranking for a little while.
Yes, Eagle.
More Facebook chat. Corey Wawowski saying, why not divide the Hall of Fame by division?
Well, I've always said you have to wait it, right? If you want to do 5 inductions, give Div 1, Div 2 1 or 2.
See, I wouldn't do that because to me, again, it just makes the argument of like it'll always be looked at as lesser than if we divide the Hall of Fame.
But the thing is, though, my argument that by the time we hit like 20, 30, every player in Div 1, Div 2 will be a Hall of Famer.
Which I don't think is right because I
No.
don't think because again
No.
it's not the Hall of Talent. I understand that the players in Div 1 are for the most part more talented than the players in the lower division. But guys who have added to the popularity and the success of FPF by virtue of their play, by virtue of their excellence, need to be awarded.
But I think it should be a weighted system, though. I mean, it should be. If you have 5 inductees, right? 2 goes to Div 1 and 2. Because what it is, you have like 3 or 4
Well,
Div
you're
1.
on the committee. How many people did you vote for last year that
I
are
vote
not
nothing.
Division 1 and 2?
I object from voting because it's
How many people would you have voted for that were not 1 and 2?
I actually voted.
I
for
would vote, but that's the thing, though.
I have a
The
few.
problem
I
is,
voted for 2 that weren't.
So did I.
yeah, but the problem is
I think
that
they're the same ones.
Probably, but the problem is that we had the same argument over and over again. The guys who are eligible to vote don't know anyone. And
You see that move? He brought up the argument, and then he says, "We keep having the same argument."
Yes, I know.
Smirt.
But that's the thing. It's just, it's not a proper way of, hey, we're gonna get a Stephen Haraprasad in the Hall of Fame because no one knows who
I
he
agree
is.
with you that most people. The problem is since
The problem is also Hall of Fame's voters are somewhat composed of Hall of Famers who are all Division 1 and 2 players.
yeah, that's
So and they
that's
don't
the
know
problem.
the guys who would play in lower divisions.
No, because they vote for the guys that they know who they played against and who they respect, which is not necessarily the new guys who have played for last.
To be honest,
5 years.
I started voting based on stats, and it's people have
So isn't wins a stat?
what?
Isn't wins a stat?
Well, I don't actually consider wins or championships. To me, it's pointless because if a team is good, like if a guy's excellent on a bad team, that should have value.
Also,
Or if
if
someone's
you're,
excellent on a good team, but just they don't win championships.
so you're a very good quarterback, but you missed the playoff game, so you never win a championship because that's when you take your vacations.
Well, Larry Fitzgerald, Antonio Gates, potential Hall of Famers.
Philip
absolutely,
Rivers.
0 championships.
all of them.
Philip
Yeah,
Rivers. Yeah.
all of them.
Philip
Hall of
Rivers,
Famers.
huh? But yeah. Speaking of Hall of
Shit years
Famers,
too.
one Div 5 candidate for this year ahead of time, we should talk about John Moody when it comes down to talking about.
Yeah,
He's put up some monster
Good.
numbers.
And he's been around for the longest time, and he's always
Compiler.
had, like the franchise
he's
of
just a
Longhorns.
compiler.
And like, he's been a good player. Everybody likes to play against him too.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot more arguments around him than just purely his stats.
So
but the thing is, for me, to remove a lot of that bias, and I was surprised by who I was voting for because I didn't realize the amount, like the stats that some players have put up, because I wouldn't have looked at them based on their name.
Yep.
In fact, and I've been banging the Joey Taylor drum for a long time. I didn't realize how good he was until I blindly looked at his stats, and that's since then that's when I've been making the
I've
case.
made
so looking ahead to the next topic here.
Yes.
The Ravens, we spoke about it quickly here, and we'll talk about it very quickly here. Are they better off with Joe Flacco quarterback than Joel Uhl at quarterback?
So you're right, Mo. An NFL quarterback is definitely
Well,
worse
no,
than
he
someone who's not an NFL
he
quarterback.
couldn't supplant a guy who can only run in the NFL.
So what you're
Lamar
telling
Jackson.
me is that you think
But
Joe
it's the
Flacco,
NFL.
Joe Flacco, the one that we all know of, not another random Joe Flacco, the NFL quarterback.
No, you mean Joe Flacco, the guy who works at the desk.
Can you look in the directory how many Joe Flacco's are in North America, please? Thank you.
Joe Flacco of the NFL quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens couldn't, even if he's QB2, couldn't cut it in Div 5
Maybe
FPF.
not. Look how much
I would
talent
take
there is
I
on
would
that
take
Ravens team.
Joe Flacco only making chest passes.
Okay,
Because
but
I guarantee you could throw a 40-yard chest pass.
but this Raven team is
You gotta hit a
0-2, and they have Alex David, Matthew Wool, Joel Wool. They have a bunch of good players on this roster, but why? Are you surprised by this, though, that they're not producing enough points on offense?
There are
Yes.
27 Joe Flaccos in the white pages across the U.S. and Canada.
I'm
Perfect.
surprised you found that. I'm surprised you found that.
Thank you.
So this reference might not be the NFL player.
Yeah. Look, I'll give you this. Joel Hill is better than 26 of those Joe Flaccos.
Oh, so there's
You think
somebody.
so?
There's a Joe
Yeah.
Flacco out there that's better than Joel Hull.
Yes.
That's pretty
But
good.
is there a Joe
you know who
Flacco
he
that's-
is? He plays with the Ravens.
No, you said 26, and there's 28. So there's another guy that we don't
Oh,
know.
it's 28? Yeah. Because
So
guaranteed
is
one
there,
of them's a-
is
one of
there,
them's a
is there a
Super
Joe
Bowl
Flacco better than the actual Joe Flacco with the Baltimore Ravens? That's a question we need to find out.
He's the other one. The second one that's better.
The second was better than the first one. Put it on the poll, please. Is Joe Flacco better than Joe Flacco? Please. On the
No, we got to know.
put it on the Facebook Flag Football website poll.
That makes no sense.
Is Joe Flacco better than Joe Flacco? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you said there's
Like
28
if
Joe
Alex
Flaccos.
Zakula is better than Alex Zakula.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so put it on the poll, please. Is Joe Flacco better than Joe Flacco?
Yep.
This didn't get derailed at all.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm surprised Joel Hill actually has 5 interceptions thrown so far.
former McGill quarterback.
Yeah.
But
Well-
they have talent though to work with.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that him as a tackle player who hasn't played FPF
We say it all the time.
translate well to FPF right away.
And I find, especially at quarterback, we automatically assume, oh, he's a tackle quarterback, he's going to be great.
Oh, he's got a
In
cannon. He's gonna
fact-
be fine.
In fact, the reads are different, the spacing is different, the field size is completely different. It doesn't. It often doesn't translate to success.
He also plays the ball the same way,
Mhm.
right? Like jump balls in the NFL or CFL are not super common because somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
FPF jump balls
But
are
even
the
just
most common thing.
like throwing an in into coverage, like a deep into coverage, is open in FPF and not open in.
yeah,
in
so let's
tackle.
throw a 15 in cover 2 when the safeties are playing at 20 yards. Let's see what happens.
Someone's gonna die.
So I know you guys like your coffees. I know you love your coffees, Simon.
Of course.
Starbucks second cup here. When you look at Alex Joltopov and Jalen Grandison, they're both in the top 3 of the Div 5 receiving right now. Who do you like better as a receiver?
How is that Starbucks and coffee related?
Because they're both excellent coffees.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know where it was going with Starbucks.
I honestly read this. I read this
Yes.
like when you said the script, and I was like, I don't know.
when I read it, I thought like very good and poor, but then I realized which one is it. They could either be both.
Yeah.
So honestly, the most dangerous playmaker right now, I'd have to go with Alex Jotapov. He might not be the most football talented player of the two.
I mean, like body of a goddess. or
No, I
not.
mean like if you put them in pads,
I think he'd make a good
Jalen is
goddess.
better.
Oh,
If
get some wings on him. Sheesh.
What? Wings?
As a goddess, he would look great.
Oh man, if Jalen had wings.
No, not Jalen.
Oh,
Alex Joltopov.
also true. Anybody in wings would look
Listen,
better.
man, you put a halo over that bald head.
You put wings on Eagle, and he's suddenly, oh my
I
god.
know.
So whose
Majestic.
hands do you trust more, Joltopov or Jalen Grandison on a third down conversion?
It's hard because I've played with Jalen
Yeah,
Grandison. So I honestly, just as a two-way talent, I automatically choose Jalen Grandison because as a defender, he's excellent.
It's true.
And his catch radius is insane. Whereas Alex Joltopov, that's the one place he's limited where he'll catch anything with guys draped all over him, but he's not going up to catch
He's
the
got
ball. that's
T-Rex
over him.
arms.
Yeah,
That's true. He's got T-Rex arms. Right?
I don't know how he feeds himself.
No one knows.
I don't know
But
either, too.
I've
Soup
seen
in a straw.
So
I've seen Jalen play snapper.
Joltopov has 22 receptions after 2 games, so he's on target for maybe 100. Does he hit it?
Do goddesses have wings? Or is that just angels?
I think it's Angels.
Just
Eagle?
Angels.
I didn't know if goddesses have wings.
I say yes to he hits 100 receptions
I
because
think
of
so
the
too.
offense.
Yeah, the offense is built to give him the ball.
It would depend on which goddesses you're thinking about. If you're talking about
Alex
the Roman,
Joltopov.
he's a goddess.
Yes.
Feminine.
Were you
Facebook poll.
Feminine.
No, it's 2019, man. How dare you try and identify him by something he doesn't want to be identified as? If he wants to be a goddess on his driver's license, he'd be a goddess on his driver's license.
Of course.
It's true.
I
It's
love
not
how you-
complicated.
I love how you're using the pronoun he with goddess.
Why not? 2019.
2019, bro.
Yes, Chris.
I mean, teams are eventually going to catch on that if a guy is getting 10 to 11 receptions a game, like, they'll say, we have to stop this guy. you know?
A lot of it is scheme, though. So it's and
Because if you
So
stop
do I
it,
do
then
the
Brandon
thing?
scores.
Do I do the thing where I give up the playbook like we
No.
did to Joey Taylor?
No. He's gonna
No,
be-
but
So what happens is there's a specific scheme he calls that creates a 2-on-1, and what happens is that if you're gonna choose one or the other, so often you take one and then it leaves Jotapov open.
Often
If you
take
don't
the
take
deeper.
that, if you jump both routes, then Brandon Aylward's open over the top. They literally call the same play over and over and over and over. And if you stay with a zone concept, it's impossible to cover by any traditional FPF zone.
So it's similar to the Greendale offense. I played in Greendale week
Yes.
1. And
He's on
Well,
Greendale.
it's a branch. Of
It
the
is that
Greendale
offense.
offense.
This is Greendale.
It is-
Jotapov is
Like,
their snapper.
You have 2.5 Dance as being the godfather of the offense, and has now deviated to the Greendale human beings
And
and
baby kangaroos.
baby kangaroos. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The how do you say this? Not the children
That's
of the
exactly how you say it.
bands. Yes. Okay,
Exactly how you say it.
Whatever. Thanks, man.
So Dope Boys are 0-2.
Yep.
This is the team that does not have Ridwan Abdor. It looks like he's not listed on the roster through 2 games.
You don't want to use the title you used?
Yeah, it's
I
rope
thought-
dope
I
right
thought-
now.
I
I'm
thought it was
going
pretty
to
clever.
set it up though. I was going to set it up right now. So
Oh,
they're playing
sorry.
rope dope right now because they've always had these starts like the Longhorns where they get off the slow start and they kind of push it on the
But
other end.
they rarely go like over 500. They usually stick around that 4-6, 5-5, 6-4 ish score, and I find that their 0-2 start sort of suits them. They rarely go on a hot streak and win 6 games in a row. I just find that this season they're missing something.
Well, they
know
don't
what they're
have Robbie
missing?
Dejean
Yeah.
and they don't
Well,
have
yeah.
Reeze, Ridwan Abdor.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
The 2 best players are not there.
Well, yeah, Robert Dejean is the best player on most rosters.
And Ridwan Abdur, before Ravi Dejan was on this team, was their best player.
Yep.
So you're missing 1 and 2.
Best two-way player on the team.
Yeah. You know what happens when you don't have 1-2 punch? You got no punch.
Well, you got a third punch, but
That never comes to that
You
point.
never get there.
You
You
could-
there without your glass, you got no punch.
You
Who's
could
your
have butt-
schedule, Eagle?
Fruit punch?
Yo, do goddesses have wings? It's not complicated. Just do your job.
It is complicated because if you're talking about like the Greeks or Romans goddesses, then no.
Do goddesses.
But what goddess
have
is then?
wings?
Yes.
Just search that
Hey,
question.
While you're
tell
at
me
it,
what you
look for the
get.
Dope Boy schedule. While you're at that there, Eagle, please. Thank you very much.
But goddess first.
Most other winged deities in the Greek pantheon had shed their wings by classical times. Nike is the goddess of strength, speed,
Just
and
do it.
victory. She's the only one with wings.
Just do it.
So just like
So there's one.
so Nike is Alex Joltapov.
Nice.
Yeah. So that means we're wearing.
Thanks, man. It was
that means we're
bothering
wearing
me. I had
Alex
to know.
Joltapov's logo then, the swoosh.
Dope Boys have lost to Speakeasy and Tropic Thunder.
Their
They
schedule.
have Tough Lungs, Orsa, Baron, Easy W, Lee Carcajou, that's tricky, The Process, Bruins, and A-Town.
Okay, that's a tough schedule. I'm sorry.
I disagree. I think it's a very winnable schedule.
There's 5 wins there.
But
I see
considering they've
3 or
lost to
4.
Speakeasy and Tropic Thunder, I'm a bit worried.
Well, Tropic Thunder is the best thing since.
Yeah, according to Nimrod.
Yeah.
Since ice cream.
They're the new Oregon offense over there, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder's going to have a tough week next week. Sorry, Nimrod.
What-
You announced it too early.
When was ice cream created anyway?
I'll look it up. Where was it? You know where the ice cream capital is in Canada, by the way?
Which one? Sorry?
The ice cream capital of Canada.
Moose jaw.
No.
Caribou jaw.
No.
It's a jaw.
No.
It's an animal?
No.
Then I don't know.
Stony Creek.
17th
Hey.
century, 1660.
I swear to God, look it up. Ice cream capital of Canada is where?
Oh,
Stony
you
Creek,
know what we
Ontario.
didn't do? We didn't freeze grapes.
I did yesterday, actually.
My man.
I had grapes too.
Did you freeze them?
I did.
It was fantastic, actually. Ice cream
The
capital.
ice cream capital of Canada is
Stony-
considered London because they have a gigantic Nestle plant.
No, it's incorrect. That's Stony Creek, Ontario. Look it up, please.
You
Look it
argue, you argue with the internet?
I
You're
am
not gonna
arguing
look that
because
one.
that's a lie. Fake news. It's Stony
Bull-faced
Creek.
lie.
Stony Creek, Ontario is the ice cream capital of Canada, please. Thank
No,
you.
it's London, Ontario, Mokan.
It was not far from Stony Creek. Technically speaking.
London, they got a bridge. They got some ice cream.
They got to have something.
They're going to do Brexit in London, Ontario. They're going to separate from Ontario soon
Want to know
enough.
why? Because of all that ice cream money.
Yeah, exactly. Big time. Choke fudge over there.
All that ice cream money. They provide the world.
There's even a place called the Ontario Ice Cream Trail.
Where is it?
Well, Ontario. for
Okay,
one.
perfect.
Is
Where?
it in London,
In
Ontario?
California? In California? Ontario, California?
No, it's a trail. Like literally, like you go all through Ontario, stopping at a bunch of places.
Okay, so like not just like a walking.
Man, why is Ontario going to be so lame?
I know.
You took ice cream and ruined it. You added walking.
There's a map. Look at this shit.
Amazing. Amazing. Like right now in 5B, you have 5 teams left undefeated, and 5A, you have 7 teams left undefeated. So right now, if you had to pick a team from 5B or 5A who has a good chance to go perfect.
You started, Peeze.
I didn't load the page yet. 'cause
Unbelievable, boys. How do you
While we
love
wait
it?
for them,
Most skipped ahead.
I know.
Nimrod says, better than sliced bread, and looking forward to a huge test this week against a very tough team. Hashtag much respect.
Okay,
Better
thank
than
you.
Sliced bread.
I saw this today, by the way. I don't know if it's true because it's Facebook. It said that Betty White predates sliced bread. Eagle, I'm sorry.
So that means the Tropic Thunder are
Better than
paying
Betty White.
homage to Betty White then.
I like Super Saiyans to stay undefeated.
Aw, I should have started.
Yep. Well, that's your fault. I like Super Saiyans, and I hate to say that because that means they're going to beat Nakatomi Survivors. But the way both teams are playing, that wouldn't be surprising.
Sliced bread, 1928. Betty White, 1922.
There we go.
Ooh.
Hey, you did it.
It was her birthday today, is it? Is it
Yes.
not? Yeah, that's right. Thank you for
All
being
right,
a
so
friend.
I'm gonna go with. I hate myself. I'm gonna go with rolling with my homies.
Dumb name.
I said it last season. I'm not gonna name their teams anymore. Zakai Kivaji is playing really well. The best pitcher in FF. And I think that their division is a little bit weaker than the others. I think they might be able to get away with a few wins. And across the board, I think this might be a special season for them, considering the past ones they had. I think they found something that really works well. And since I couldn't pick Super Saiyans, I'm gonna go with rolling with my homies.
5B. And Nishitu's going to go the process, and they're my boys, so I want to pick them, but I like TakeOver schedule, man. Give me TakeOver. I like the permanent addition of Vincent Benjamin. That team's going to be tough to beat.
New guy, you have any...
The U.
Oh, that's a pretty good solid. Yeah, that's a solid choice. The U is a good team. Evan Frank and those boys. Which one are we talking about? Talking about the U, the U or the U?
No, that's the other division. This is
The
the
U,
four.
the actual letter U.
Yes.
The actual letter U. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take the process. I thought the ECW was their toughest game on their schedule, and they just destroyed them. So there's no reason to think the process won't go 10-0.
So should we award for the 5A and 5B champions in Broadside April 13th and 14th, by the way, for those who don't know, like a bucket full of ice cream?
From London, Ontario.
Yeah, seriously. Should we
No, Mokan's gonna bring him from Stony Creek.
Yeah, I'll go with Stony Creek, man.
to
Trust
the one ice cream shop in Stony Creek.
Will you put frozen grapes in the ice cream?
You know what? How about this? Okay, we have the budget now. We've supposedly expanded
don't.
our budget.
No, we
so
I'll donate
You
my
have
paycheck.
not. Back in the
don't worry, we've expanded the budget.
We've
I'll
spent
donate
more
my
of it.
paycheck to the guys.
Look at that, eh? Look at that. Okay, so how about that? We bring a bucket of ice cream. We give it to the team that wins the 5A championship, like a bucket of ice cream.
It'll be entirely melted.
So, but what about 5B?
We're there. It's a long day, man.
No, but it's April.
Yo, what time's
You put it outside, there's a chance.
5A final, please.
We don't know yet.
It's listed on the thing. No.
Whatever.
Mokan,
The one thing you won't research is on our own site.
Mokan, but what about 5B though?
We'll give them a cone.
So
But-
together,
We just buy 2 buckets of Quits Cook, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Like when we present the trophy, we put the bucket of ice cream.
We buy that 3-color ice cream.
Oh,
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, we buy 3
3-color
color.
ice cream.
We give vanilla to somebody, chocolate to the other, and nobody gets strawberry because nobody wants it anyways.
We
Strawberry's
give it,
very
we give it
good,
to
by
the
the
losing
way.
team, so they feel worse.
What do you,
Oh,
what do you
wow.
prefer, the chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry of Neapolitan ice cream?
First of all, you're
I'm
supposed
I'm
to
chocolate
get all
guy.
three.
I'm a
You have
Chocolate,
to get all
okay.
three.
What?
You have to get all three.
How do you go 3?
What are you, an
just do
animal?
like
A big scoop.
Yeah, you scoop and
you do a horizontal.
Yeah, man.
Mokan,
You're a
what's your
serial killer.
Mokan, what's your flavor?
I don't mind strawberry. I like strawberry.
You like pistachio?
You're the only
It's
one.
good pistachio.
I do like pistachio ice cream.
I like
That's delicious.
real pistachio ice cream.
Peace,
Not
what's
that
your
fake shit.
flavor in Napoli?
All right.
Say
so
from all 3.
it is now time
All three, it's the
for.
only way.
Games of the
All right.
week.
Okay. All right. Here we go. 5A and 5B, 3 games each. Here we go. 5A and 5B. The 4 of us will pick games. Oh, here we go. New guy.
We're doing 5A or 5B first?
We'll go whatever
You
you want,
choose.
new guy.
Okay, we're gonna go with 5A. We're gonna go
All
with
right,
5A.
Chris.
So
Here we go.
Outlaws versus hold on a second.
Voodoo.
Outlaws versus Voodoo. Yeah, you got.
Oh,
Good
man.
game.
Nimrod said Outlaws are gonna win, so give me Voodoo.
Give me Outlaws, brother.
Stephen Harper Sod is a zone destroyer. Voodoo play a lot of zone. Stephen Harper Sod and Outlaws win this one easily.
Okay.
Ooh.
Next.
So you go with Nimrod.
Next, we got Super Saiyans
Unfortunately.
versus No Show.
Saiyans.
Yep. Super Saiyans.
Super Saiyans because I just said they're going to go undefeated. And I need to be right.
Rolling with my homies versus Brothers.
Well,
I
I
just
just
said
said
Brothers.
rolling with my homies is gonna go undefeated.
Yeah.
So.
And I hate their name, so I'm going to go Brothers.
I can go Mahomes.
And finally, Brocasian versus Texas Rangers.
Brocasian's had a tough.
Bottom of the bottom.
Yeah. Give me Brocasian. They'll win this one.
Nah.
Is
Texas
Justin
Rangers.
There's
Santos
just
going for
there's a
them?
lot of talent.
Yeah, Justin Sertola's throwing for them now.
Before we do 5B, Stephen Donald says all love ice cream.
Couldn't you have
Steven
waited for
Donald.
us to get to 5B?
No, because
Yeah.
he has to switch page. So I'm buying time.
No, but we weren't finished with.
Yeah, we were mid conversation, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna instead go with Texas Rangers.
No, I said Texas Rangers. I think that they are a good team, and
Yeah, there's too much
this,
talent in that team.
this might be one of these games where they figure it out for a little bit.
All right. 5B.
5B. Fighting Flamingos versus the U.
The U.
I like the U.
Sorry, Flamingos.
Takeover versus Tropic Thunder.
I just said Takeover is going undefeated, so take
Take over, brother.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be closer than we think, but take over.
Easy W versus Orsa.
EZW is gonna bounce back. Orsa is gonna have a tough season, Division 5. I don't know why they didn't register for Division 6.
Yeah.
They went up from 6D to 5B.
Do they fit in 6?
They fit easily in
Did you
6. I did check.
You go. Can you check for me, please?
I'm
He already
going
checked.
Easy W.
Yeah, easy the way.
You press a button, man.
All right.
One more. We
Yes.
have Punishers versus Bruins.
Give me the Punishers.
Yeah, give me Bruins, man. I like Bruins. This
I
season.
like Bruins. I'm on board with what they're doing. It's a nice direction.
They've gone through their lean times, and now the process has paid off for them to look
Well, I
good.
mean, having Gap Basson and Zach Swern, some would even say it's unfair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Pretty much.
Well done.
All right. Match words.
Some
I
could,
didn't
even,
prepare anything.
some could even say it's a tactic.
I just stole it from Mo.
That's right. Match words, please, boys.
I just stole it from Mo.
I'm just saying, set it up, man. Dive in. Ice cream. Good night,
Oh.
Stony Creek.
Stony Creek. There we go. Ice cream is the thing we're talking about.
I just can't.
Ice cream or sherbet?
Sherbet's dumb.
Sure, it's
Like, if
overrated
you're gonna
for
have
me.
dessert, have dessert.